Hi, I'm Yu Fong. Welcome to my channel, KL Properties with Yu Fong. A couple of months back, I made a video with Irene on MM2H. And since then, many have requested for me to shoot another video specifically on the Special Economic Zone, SEZ MM2H Visa. Well, I can understand why SEZ is such a hot topic. On the face of it, it appears to be the most attractive visa for those with limited budget. The SEZ requirements are lower compared to the silver, gold, and platinum MM2H visa. For example, the age requirement is lower, the fixed deposit requirement is also lower, you get a longer visa period, and most importantly, there are no minimum property price requirement when bought from a certain developer. Well, the question is this too good to be true? Are there any hidden requirements that you should be aware of? Recently, there was an update by Mortec on the SEZ requirements on 27 March 2025. And a couple of significant changes on SEZ was announced. Which brings me to my topic for today, the top 5 questions on SEZ visa. Due to popular request, I have invited Irene back to help us answer the 5 essential questions on SEZ. Hi Irene, welcome back to my channel. Well, our last video on MM2H was quite a big hit, right? Yeah, quite a number of people have contacted me regarding the MM2H, and I have referred them to Irene. I believe a number of them have signed up already.
Yes, do act fast while the MM2H application process is easy and efficient right now.
Okay, so since we have Irene here with us today, let's make use of this opportunity and ask her the 5 essential questions on the SEZ visa. All right, so let's jump right into the first question. Irene, I understand that under the SEZ visa, there are a number of different zones that will be eligible to apply under the SEZ visa. Is that right?
Okay, so to put it more precisely, okay, there are 2 types of special economic zone. I think you're referring to the JZ, the Johor Bahru and the Singapore Special Economic Zone. So that one, there are 6 districts under the Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone. But when it comes to the Malaysia, my second home, Special Economic Zone, at the present, there's only one, Forest City, which is categorized under the Special Economic Zone. In other words, if you want to apply MM2H under the Special Economic Zone, you have to purchase property from the Forest City. Then only you are eligible to apply under the Special Economic Zone. Otherwise, you will have to apply under the silver category if you purchase property outside of Forest City.
I see. Because I've heard a lot of different people talking about the so-called 6 different zones under the SEZ or FFZ. Some people even say that. So it may be a bit confusing. But if you are watching this, I'm sure you're quite focused. You are interested to get the SEZ visa and you want to know which property, which area you can buy from. So it's what she just told you.
Yeah. Only Forest City.
At the moment,
yes.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to question number 2. Irene, the main appeal for SEZ visa is that there is no minimum purchase price for the property, right?
Yes.
So for SEZ visa, who are the developers that we need to buy from, and how much does the property usually cost?
Okay, as mentioned earlier, SEZ zone is only applicable to Forest City, right? And the developer for Forest City is Country Garden. So you have to buy the properties from Country Garden. And the minimum value, the smallest unit you can get from Country Garden is around 500,000 ringgit Malaysia, with 1 bathroom, 1 bedroom, and a living room. So this unit size is around 500 square feet.
So that is 1,000 ringgit per square foot,
yes.
Right? That is actually not cheap at all. Yeah, because let me just give you some understanding, especially if you're a foreigner and you're not familiar. In Mount Kiara, which is an area that is full of expats. It's high income expats who love this area. Usually the average price for a property here, I would say it goes from about 700 ringgit to 1,000 ringgit per square foot. So if you look at what you're talking about in country garden, yeah, I see I'm not a JB expert. In country garden, all right, it's 1,000 ringgit per square foot for a 500 square feet, one bedroom, one bath unit. Is very expensive, at least in my opinion, yeah. Because in Mount Kiara, you pay the same thing, you can get so much more for the price you pay for.
Yeah. So special economic zone is more applicable to those applicants who have limited budget. So for example, if you have limited budget of about 700,000 ringgit Malaysia, a total investment of 700,000 ringgit Malaysia, including the fixed deposit placement as well as property purchase, then you can only afford special economic zone, but not the silver program. Because when you compare between the silver program and the special economic zone, the price is only half of it. Okay, let's calculate. Okay, let's have a deeper discussion about the special economic zone. Okay, so for example, if you are above 50 years old and you buy a property at 500 to 550,000 ringgit Malaysia at Forest City,
Okay.
and then you are only required to place a fixed deposit of 32,000 USD, and that will be equivalent to about 150,000 ringgit Malaysia. So your total investment is about 650,000 to 700,000 ringgit Malaysia in total. Your total investment.
Okay.
Yes. So if you only have a limited budget of 700,000 ringgit Malaysia, then special economic zone is the place for you, and it's the better option for you. But for silver program, let's say,
I think before we go to the silver program, I think one very important note is that the 700,000 ringgit that you so-called invest, you are not giving the 700,000 ringgit as a fee to the government. This basically is still your money. It's in the fixed deposit. You can use it for traveling, for medical, for studying, right? And the properties, the value is still the same unless it drops. Even if it drops, it's not going to be 100% loss, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
So
and
it's
the
not too
property still belongs to you. Both the property and the FD is under your name.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So because I receive a lot of my viewers who tend to give me some messages and they say, oh, it's so expensive to apply for Malaysia's SEZ or Malaysia's visa. It's not really true because the amount that you invest still belongs to you. One day, if you decide to leave Malaysia, you can still withdraw all this, sell your property, and go back to your country.
That's a very good point,
Yeah?
which you have highlighted. Yes. So Malaysia, my second home program is all about flexibility. We have spoken about flexibility.
Hashtag flexibility. Yes.
Flexibility in our previous video.
Right.
So you are free to apply, and at the present is highly efficient. You get your visa within 3 to 6 months. And then by the time you decide to leave the country, leave Malaysia and return to your country of origin, you can terminate your visa and withdraw your fixed deposit within 2 to 4 weeks.
I saw I heard some people actually said that because the number of applicants is so high right now, did you experience any slowdown in the approval of the visa recently?
At the present, the approval process still take about 2 to 3 months.
Still 2 to 3 months?
Yes, still around 2 to 3 months.
And then is there since you are so connected with the MOTAC and so on, so is there any special news that if the visa hit a certain number of people, they will maybe, stop offering this visa?
This is a very good question,
Yeah.
Yubong. This is a very good question. Like in the past, our government set a quota of 1% of the total Malaysia population. And
what is our population now?
Our population is around 32 million.
Okay.
32 million. So 1% of the total population is around 320,000. Am I correct?
Yeah.
320,000. So we are far from there. At the moment, we only have about 56,000 to 57,000 MM2H participants in total.
This is in total as in this current new MM2H or including the previous years?
Including the first generation, second generation, and the third generation MM2H homers.
So there's still a lot of room for you to apply.
Yes.
Welcome to Malaysia. Yes.
Welcome to Malaysia.
Look for Irene. Okay, Irene, let's go back to the comparison when you were comparing between the SEZ and the silver program. Please.
Alright. Just now we mentioned about the special economic zone, the SEZ. if you have a limited budget of 700,000 ringgit Malaysia, you're eligible to apply for the SEZ program. Okay, let's look into the silver program. How much is required for the total investment value? Okay, first and foremost, you have to place a fixed deposit of 150,000 US dollar. That will be equivalent to about 600,050 ringgit Malaysia. And then you have to purchase a property above 600,000 ringgit Malaysia. So the total investment, if you are buying property from Penang State, Ipoh, Malacca, or Johor Bahru, that would be 1.25 million, the total investment value. However, if you're buying from Kuala Lumpur, the minimum threshold for the foreigner consent is 1 million ringgit Malaysia. So the total investment value will reach up to 1.65 million ringgit Malaysia. So this is the comparison between the special economic zone versus the silver program.
So if okay, now you are scaring my viewers away from my KL area. No. Basically, the amount you invest, the price difference is about 400,000 ringgit. Am I right?
Yes. Between you mean between KL and Penang?
Yes, between KL and the other states, for example.
Yes, between KL and the other states like Penang, Ipoh, Malacca, or Johor Bahru.
But I think, as an investor, perhaps one should not look at it on a short-term basis. You should think of in the future when you're going to sell your property. Obviously, the properties in KL, for example, in Mont Kiara, will have an easier time for you to sell, and perhaps you may even make some capital gain out of it. Yeah, compared to like if you buy a property in Ipoh, you may spend 600,000 to buy a property in Ipoh, but in 10 years' time, the property may be only 500,000. Sorry, people from Ipoh, But it's true, you never know. Because at the end of the day, KL is still the capital city of Malaysia.
Exactly.
And you're situated right in the middle of the country. Yeah, whether you go north, you go south, it's really convenient for you.
Yes. Yes.
Question number 3. During the latest MOTEC update, there was an important update on the timeline for the property purchase for the SEZ Visa. I understand that previously, before the update, the applicants have a timeline of 1 year.
Yes.
Yeah, before they need to purchase the property to get their SEZ Visa.
Yes.
What is the latest on this?
Okay. So the latest updates, which we had a meeting on the 26th of March 2025, was they shortened the window for property purchase at Forest City to 6+3. So how do we calculate the 6+3 months? Okay, so from the date you attain your MM2H conditional approval letter, if you purchase the property 6 months earlier, or you purchase 3 months later, so within this 6+3 months, you must purchase your MM2H, you must purchase your property from the Forest City in order to do your visa endorsement.
So can you just give a simple timeline? So firstly, you apply, and then you get your conditional letter, and then?
Okay, so this is how it works, okay,
Yeah.
from the timeline, okay. So after you sign contract appointment with us, you begin your document preparation, okay, and then you start preparing the documents. It takes about 1 to 2 months, and then you do your submission. So after you do your submission, most probably you need to visit Johor Bahru to view the properties and then get the right unit, and then probably you book the unit, because you'll be getting your approval within 3 to 4 months, after the submission. So after you get your MM2H conditional approval letter, you are required to purchase the Forest City to sign the sales and purchase agreement with the developer Country Garden within 3 months in order to do your MM2H visa endorsement.
Within 3 months?
Yes.
Oh,
After
wow,
you
that's a
get your
very short
conditional approval letter.
Oh, it's not 6 months, it's 3 months after you get
It's
the
a
conditional.
6 months before you get your MM2H conditional approval letter,
Oh.
or the 3 months after you attain your
So
MM2H
if
conditional approval letter.
somebody has bought they have bought property from Country Garden a year back, they can't use that.
They can use back. However, they cannot withdraw the 50% fixed deposit. They cannot withdraw the 50%
so they give
fixed
you
deposit.
6 months period before you get your conditional approval letter. You still can withdraw the money from FD to pay for this.
Exactly.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, now I understand.
To pay for the property.
To pay
Yes.
for the property.
To pay for the property. Yeah.
I see. So if after 3 months I have not bought a property from Country Garden after getting my conditional approval letter, what happens?
You wouldn't get your visa. You wouldn't get the MM2H visa stamp on your passport. Because in order to get the MM2H visa stamp on your passport, you must provide the sales and purchase agreement from the foreign city.
Oh, they're very strict. Very, very strict. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
the timeline is very important
They
to
have
take note of.
tightened the special economic zone. Yeah. But the rest of the programs remain status quo, like silver, gold, platinum remain status quo. You are given a 1-year window to purchase property.
Are you familiar, or do you have any tips or insider information on how many percent of properties in Country Garden is still available? Okay, if you're a Johor agent or you're from Country Garden, maybe you can drop me a personal message and we can contact and do some deals over here. So we have some information on that. Question number 4. Another update during the MOTEC meeting, the most recent one, was on the currency of the fixed deposit placement. Am I right?
Yes.
Can you please share with us what is that all about?
Okay. So MOTEC, they encourage the fixed deposit placement in Ringgit Malaysia, even though you can place a US dollar. Like for example, if it is a silver program, you place a US dollar of 150,000, right? And gold is 500,000, and then platinum is 1 million. But from the MOTEC perspective, they encourage the applicants to place a fixed deposit in the Ringgit Malaysia. Equivalent Ringgit Malaysia.
Oh, okay, equivalent. Yes. So your timing is very important as well, depending it's going up or going down the currency.
Yes. So if you are looking at the currency exchange, if it is at the high side for the Ringgit Malaysia, then most probably you can convert some to the ringgit and you can get some advantages of the currency.
What about previously? Previously, it was also the same, that both US dollars and Malaysian ringgit is acceptable.
Yes.
I see. So the only difference now is MOTEC encourage you guys to place a FD in Malaysian ringgit rather than US dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
But both are equally acceptable.
Still
both
acceptable.
US dollar and ringgit Malaysia are equally acceptable
At the moment.
Yes.
You never know. Anything can change at any time. Yeah. Final question. Question number 5. Any other important updates that we should be aware of regarding this SEZ visa?
Okay, so I would say regarding the general MM2H terms and conditions.
Okay, sure.
Okay, there are several updates. Number 1 is there is a random interview with our Royal Police Force. So if the Royal Police Force, they discovered some maybe some misconduct in your letter of good conduct or your police clearance letter, they may invite you for an interview. So that is
invite you to drink coffee, yeah?
Or drink tea.
Or drink tea. Okay.
Drink tea, yeah.
You don't want that.
Yes. So that is the first update. And the second update is regarding the resume. So in your resume, you must specify your employment history as well as your education background and also your last income or your current income.
So if I'm already retired, do I still need to do that?
You need to write a statutory declaration to declare that you had already retired and specify what was your last employment income.
So previously they didn't need to do that, is it?
Previously, at the beginning, MOTEC did not ask for the employment letter, but along the way, they requested for the employment letter.
I see. Now they're getting stricter and stricter, looks like it. Yeah, definitely.
But it's still very lenient as compared to the first generation and the second generation MM2H programs.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. The reason behind is because the first and the second generation MM2H holders, they had to submit and provide the income statements. Their bank statements as well as their salary slips, all this. But this is very straightforward. It's just a resume with employment letter if it is applicable.
So technically it's more lenient compared to previously.
Yes, so the first and the second generation MM2H application.
I see. Okay. Anything else?
Okay. Third updates is regarding your property purchase. So make sure that you purchase a property within the 1-year window, because our ministry they will request the applicants to submit the forms regarding property purchase to the ministry.
So there's no way to hide. There's no way to hide because some people have been asking us, yeah, can they just apply and just don't buy the property? The government will not know anyway. Yeah, because sometimes people say Malaysia boleh, right? So apparently that's not the case right now.
Yeah, that's a monitoring system.
Okay, so
For your information.
okay,
yes.
so you know, all
Yeah.
right, you have to buy a property. Yeah,
Within 1 year.
Within 1 year.
Yes.
and if
1
it's
year.
SEZ, 3 months. All right, there you go. I'm getting better at this. Maybe I should apply to be your agent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I think that's about it for today's updates.
Okay.
So we see you in our next video.
All right, Irene, thank you very much for your time. So as you guys know, Irene is a registered MM2H agent, right? So, and she will be providing 1 hour, and not really 1 hour, she'll be providing you a free service of consultation if you contact her. All right, you can give me a call at my number and I will tie you up to Irene for that. Other than that, that's it for our video for today. Don't
Yes.
forget to press the subscribe button. Hopefully, we have another opportunity to have a video with Irene in the future as well.
Thank you for the invitation, Yufeng.
You're very
Yeah, it was
welcome.
a lovely discussion, and we hope that this video will bring you more information regarding the Special Economic Zone MM2H program.
Yes, don't forget to press the subscribe button. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.